is up, everybody? Hope you're doing well out there. Today we're talking about my new favorite trail running shoe, the Hoka One One SPEEDGOAT 4. Right, you've probably seen my other video on the Hoka Bondi 6 and Clifton 6, and those are my favorite shoes for running in the city, right? I live in Munich, so I run in those like 4 or 5 times a week. But at least once a week I try to get out in the mountains and run on the trails, and for that you need a trail shoe, right? A separate shoe for different conditions. And I recently got the SPEEDGOAT 4, which I'm really impressed by, and I thought I wanted to share my thoughts on that shoe. Maybe a quick background story. So my trail shoes that I used for the last year were the Nike Kiger 5, right? Pretty decent shoe. They provide like stability and the air system works really well. Yeah, really cool shoe. It's more of a fast shoe, so it's not like ultra cushioned, and it looks kind of cool. It was a good trail shoe, but I've had some experiences with this shoe which really drove me to buy this one. One of the experiences was basically I was out in the mountains and I was at a pretty high altitude, right, in the Swiss Alps, and suddenly like the weather changed and it started like snowing like crazy, and I started slipping and I fell like 10 times, and it was really dangerous. So the outsole just didn't provide enough grip. So I thought for this year I will invest in a shoe that has a proper outsole. The Hoka One One SPEEDGOAT 4 has a Vibram outsole. As you guys know, I absolutely love Vibram. They're focused on outsoles, like that's what they do. So, and you can really tell. I did like 4 runs in this shoe, right? Maybe like 2 runs and 2 hikes rather. And the grip is really impressive. You can see like there are different like rubberized areas and like ultra deep lugs, right, that provide grip. Whether it's like icy, I went through ice and snow, but also on like regular like wet terrain, but also dry terrain. So I tested it on all terrains, and ultra strong grip, pretty awesome in my opinion. Another reason why I went for the SPEEDGOAT 4 is I'm in love with the Hoka cushioning systems. They're ultra lightweight shoes, but they provide you with like good stability and cushioning as well at the same time, which is pretty hard to do, especially on a trail shoe, right? When you're looking at a trail shoe, you need sort of like a bit like more stability and a harder outsole, if that makes any sense, right? If you ever run with a like max cushioning shoe and you run on a rock, you could really feel that rock, and that should not happen in a trail run, because obviously there are lots of like roots and stones and stuff like that, so it's really dangerous. So you need like more stability and a more rigid sole, if that makes any sense. But obviously it's still a Hoka shoe, right? So it's still on the max cushioning side, and I was kind of concerned with that in the beginning, because I thought, okay, either the shoe is too hard or it's too soft, but it's actually exactly on point, which is really impressive, because I think you have to test a lot, like launch, iterate, test, blah, to get it to that level. And I mean, it's the SPEEDGOAT 4, right? So it's the 4th iteration of that shoe. So they probably had a lot of testing for like 4 years. And yeah, I can't recommend this shoe enough. As with the outsole and the midsole, it's basically the same story with the upper as well, right? You obviously want a upper that is breathable, right? When you're doing like long runs, you sweat like crazy, you need a breathable upper. But then at the same time, you need an upper that's like holding your foot in place, right? And providing like good midfoot lockdown stability on all areas, basically. And what Hoka did here is like they have a mesh upper, right? That is ultra breathable, but it's still kind of rigid. Like you can tell it's a different upper than the other shoes. It's more rigid, and then has this like 3D printed overlays across the shoe, which really provide more stability as well. And looking at the shoe, you can really tell that Hoka is specialized in running shoes, right? It's small details like a gusseted tongue, right? That it's so important in trail running. You know, gusseted tongue basically means that the tongue is attached on the sides so that no rocks and stuff like that can't enter the shoe, because then obviously you will get like blisters and stuff. It's those details that really show that Hoka is specialized in running shoes. And obviously it's still a well cushioned shoe, but it's a much more like responsive ride, I would say, than the Bondi 6, for example, or even the Clifton 6. And that obviously has to do with like the rigid outsole, and the foam is not as soft as with the others, I would say. So all in all, I would say this shoe really gives me peace of mind when I run. I really feel protected. I feel strong when I run up the mountains. And speaking of running up the mountains, I went to the mountains last week and I ran into this shoe. So let's look at the footage now. So that's where we went, this summit right here. As you can see, the clouds are coming in, so we're just went down, getting a beer now, and then on our way home. So as you hopefully could tell in the video, I feel comfortable wearing this shoe. It has quite a wide toe box, which is really important for me, right? Because I want my toes to be able to spread out to provide more grip and more like stability on the trails. Yeah, all in all, ultra happy. I can't recommend this shoe enough. This is probably my favorite trail shoe that currently is on the market. SPEEDGOAT 4 is not only the best trail shoe from Hoka, but across all brands, I would say. And you can still find like good deals on this shoe, right? So retail is like 140 bucks, but as you probably know, like Hoka has all kinds of like crazy colorways. If price is the first thing you're looking at and you don't care about the color, you can find some good deals online. This color is probably hard to find below retail, but it's still worth it. I think you can get a lot of miles out of this shoe. And especially with the Vibram sole, I'm really happy that, I know that I'm rambling, but I'm really happy that Hoka is not like too proud to outsource their outsoles, if that makes any sense. You know, like other brands are a bit too proud and say, hey, listen, we've been in the footwear business for like, I don't know, 50 years or whatever. So we're making our own outsoles. And Hoka is really like, has the runner in mind, right? And thinks, okay, Vibram, they have been doing this forever. They're the best outsole manufacturer. So let's go with Vibram. Yeah, this is really the best option in my opinion. Can't recommend it enough. And yes, I think this is from my side. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button down below. Subscribe to the channels. New videos coming every Sunday, sometimes Wednesdays as well. And yes, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.